Hi, welcome to Hills and Frills. I'm with my son and daughter today and we're building a chicken house.
So we've got the Cocoon chicken house 1002N Eco, and we also bought the optional chicken run and the fox deterrent mesh skirting. So we took out all the pieces of the house and organised them on the floor, and then we realised the bottom tray might not be big enough to fit the chickens, so we decided to get my cat, who weighs 8 kilograms, and see if he could fit on it, so we could compare him to the chicken, which also weighs around 8 kilograms. Hopefully 4 Otises will fit.
We wanted to put the chicken house in this area, but the Virginia creeper was overgrown and covered where we wanted to put it. So I cut it back so we could have enough room.
First we made the main structure of the house, and we used these big screws and bolts to secure it. It wasn't too hard and it screwed in really easily to the pre-made holes. There's me just tightening it. We used slightly smaller screws to screw in the nest box sides. I got my sister to hold the sides while I screwed them in. The front of the nesting boxes slide in. Just make sure the clasp, which is that bit, is on the outside. So we use medium-sized screws to screw in the front of the nesting box to the sides. My sister put in the base of the nest box with the grooved plank at the front and the smooth plank at the back. Then we slotted in the nest box dividers. They were a bit tricky to get in because some of the wood didn't align exactly. So we have 6 nest box slots, but really we're only going to get 4 chickens, meaning we only really need 1. But since we're getting Orpingtons, which are generally large birds, we wanted them to have a lot of space, and this was one of the ones with the most space. Then we slotted in the bottom tray, which goes in and out, making it easier to clean the coop. At first it wasn't slotting in well, and later on we realised that it was because the ground wasn't level. Here I am slotting in the roosting bars, and this is important for chickens because at night especially, they want to be higher up to keep away from predators as a natural instinct, and they also want to keep away from their own waste. I am using the medium-sized screws to screw in the nesting box base. Here it got a bit more difficult because the roof didn't exactly align and it was hard to get the screws in. This is another part that got difficult because we ordered a run to attach onto the house, but the screwdriver was not really screwing it in well, so we needed a drill. We had to call in Uncle Dave and his son to help us. He screwed in the roof, and he used the drill on the nest box hinges. It was so much easier using a drill to assemble the run. You have to make sure the door on the chicken run is near to the chicken coop so that you can open the chicken coop door and let the chickens in and out. We used the drill to attach the roof of the run. You actually attach the run to the coop with clasps, so we had to make sure that it aligned well before drilling them.
So we went to get our Orpington chickens from Noddy's Pure Breeds in Kent. Did you know that Orpington chickens were first bred in Orpington in Kent by William Cook? So that means we brought our chickens from near where they originally came from. Rob and Linda, who owned Noddy's Pure Breeds, were so nice and they had lots of different breeds of chickens. We chose these 4 because they look so cute. I could feel my one's chest pumping up and down as I held it. Rob put the 4 chickens into a cardboard box and cut holes in it for them to breathe. And then we took them home.
So before we let the chickens into the coop, we put the fox wire skirting around, and my dad helped too. Rob kindly gave us some sawdust, which the chickens are used to, which we put into the coop. We bought pullets, and ours are 10 weeks old, and so they need special food. We bought the same food that they were currently eating, just so it's not too stressful for them with all the change. We put bowls of food and water inside the coop because we haven't got the drips or feeders yet. Now it is all ready, and it's time to release our chickens into their new home. We put the box into the run and opened it up, letting our chickens come out. The chickens actually didn't want to come out on their own, so we had to gently pick them up and place them on the ramp.
I wanted to cuddle my one.
The last chicken decided to stroll in on her own. Now they are all in their coop, and we're actually not allowed to touch them for a week, otherwise it gets too stressful and they need to get used to their new environment. Our cat Otis was really not happy with them moving in. So, let's introduce you to our chickens.
Please meet Florence Mallard, who is a buff Orpington.
And here's Betty McFlone, who is a black Orpington. This is Cindy Birdsong, who is a blue Orpington.
And finally, Diana Albatross, who is a splash Orpington.
Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and like. And please join me for part 2 where I will show you how to decorate the coop.